the second reaction video for the month of December, and yet another CinemaSins video. And if you remember earlier, in the first reaction video to something CinemaSins, I reacted to them covering and sinning on Hook, and in that, there was a little bit of Christmas to it. But for this one that they covered and, you know, sinned on, it's a full-blown Christmas movie. And it's a movie adaptation of the Charles Dickens classic, A Christmas Carol. But with the Muppets, like, yeah, and you knew, and, like, you read the title, of course. Yes, I'm reacting to everything wrong with the Muppets Christmas Carol in adorable minutes. Okay, so that's a title for a CinemaSins video. Yeah, I gotta say, and it's no secret, the Muppets Christmas Carol is my all-time favorite Christmas Carol movie. Not just because, you know, the Muppets are in it, and it's, you know, it's all Muppets and so on. You get my point. But I think a lot of people have stated that it stays very true to, like, to the story itself, and I think there's that, and along with the one Christmas Carol movie where Sir Patrick Stewart played the role of Ebenezer Scrooge. I know I've heard this before, and if you have too, so yeah. And, you know, the fact that Muppet Christmas Carol was the first Muppets movie in a while since Muppets Take Manhattan, and yeah, this was the first one without Jim Henson's involvement, as, you know, he sadly passed away 2 years before this movie happened. So yeah. And yeah, and also this being Brian Henson's directorial debut, and he did a great job. I mean, Muppet Christmas Carol, like, it turned out to be really good. And, you know, again, because this was the first, like, Muppets movie without Jim Henson's involvement or anything like that, and it turned out pretty good. And then came Muppet Treasure Island, and that too did pretty good as well. So, yeah. And by the way, as of this recording, the Muppets Christmas Carol is the only Muppet movie that CinemaSins has covered and they've sinned on. No other Muppet movie have they covered and sinned on. Like, no other CinemaSins video of them doing a Muppet movie. Just this one. But maybe, you know, as you're watching this, they probably have already done another Muppet movie, and they've sinned on and so on. But yeah, for this being the only one, wow. Just like, and obviously they would be doing all the other Muppet movies at some point. I mean, you never know what to expect from CinemaSins, like what movie they're going to do, and the same goes for their other channel, TV Sins. You just never know. And kind of like, say, how, you know, other YouTube channels like, say, Nostalgia Critic, Honest Trailers, and, you know, Screen Junkies, or heck, even, say, The Angry Video Game Nerd, any other YouTube channel, you just never know what they're going to do and cover on. You get my point. So, yeah. But with all that being said, let's see what CinemaSins has to say on the Muppets Christmas Carol. And yep, yeah, because finally, also, I'm finally doing, you know, reacting to, that is, to a CinemaSins video where, you know, they sin on a Christmas movie. Anyways, let's begin. Yeah, volume's good. All right, here we go. Everything wrong with the Muppets Christmas Carol in adorable minutes, starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. In 16 minutes or less, okay.
The 1992 Disney logo knew to get in and out within 14 seconds, and that's a sin for this movie for all the later movies that didn't continue this trend, but instead inflated the logo to deep-throat viewers before every movie, and also because it's followed here by a 19-second Jim Henson Productions logo, giving us a total of 33 seconds of logos. Aww. The hell am I doing?
Yes, thank you.
Muppets now? Christmas Muppets? Something that's pure joy? One of these decisions I've made in my life. How did I get here? Okay, get it together, Jerry. You've got a job to do. Good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people hate me. Also, between the opening logos, the title cards, and the credits, I think we're already like 30% through the movie's runtime. London looks fake.
It's a model. It's only a model.
Let's have a lot
because they're pigs.
But it's still funny.
As hilarious as this is, it does raise the question of what the cabbage says in other situations, besides during a kidnapping, like when he's brought home legally and sliced up for salad, or boiled alive to make some kind of crop. Sentient food is hilarious to a point, but then it undoubtedly always gets dark if you think about it for even a little bit. Now see, here's more cabbage, but this cabbage isn't sentient. Why? Why aren't these little onion egg gobbers here sentient? All I'm saying is, whatever deity went around handing out intelligence and eyeballs in this universe did it in a very illogical manner. Well, would you look at these two little assholes right here?
Oh, please.
Welcome to the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Roll Gonzo.
Roll Gonzo.
Year after year.
And an ad. Okay. I'm very happy that they did remove a sin because, you know, in memory of Jim Henson and Richard Hunt. Yeah, that was the right thing to do. And that's another thing, too, because unfortunately, you know, Richard Hunt, he sadly died during production, and, you know, not even lending his voice to any of, like, the Muppet characters. That's unfortunate. I guess he was not feeling too well at the time and just was unable to really do anything with the Muppets. You know, in the very last Muppets project he did, where he only lended his voices to the characters, was in Muppet Vision 3D. And actually, the fact that Muppet Vision 3D was the very last Muppet material that both Jim Henson and Richard Hunt did. And, you know, it's all, now that I'm thinking of it, I don't know why I never thought of this. It's very nice because, you know, if you've been to Muppet Vision 3D, and most notably, Stadler and Waldorf are there, you know, they get the first and last lines of Muppet Vision 3D, the Disney attraction and so on at Hollywood Studios. First and last lines, and that's very fitting as of now. It definitely is, when you think about it, and because of both Jim Henson and Richard Hunt. Definitely. All right, so back to it.
The Marleys were dead to begin with.
Movie's adding more Marleys than the original. Okay, but they seriously both died at the same time? This guy sings about it paints you with indifference the way women paint with rouge, and the only reason is because it's not easy to rhyme Scrooge, and they needed to rhyme with Scrooge here. And it's a kid's movie, so they couldn't use spooge. That's a porcupine on the right, I think, but it's this other thing. This is some kind of science lab test subject escaped from the lab, right? It's not any animal I recognize.
It's a whatnot,
yeah,
right?
The eggplant emoji even refuses to show up on the selection board every time Scrooge tries to suck Bell.
Sucks Bell. God.
Around, kid. You are in a movie full of it. I'll tell you what, at least Mr.
It's a good song.
Gets a ton of exercise. He's walked through the entire city center in order for the residents to sing this derisive song right to his face. Gotta keep that cold, evil heart in good condition, I guess.
He has no time for friends or fun.
Puppets on Muppets. These Muppet puppets can suck it.
Oh, Jesus,
Muppet Show did
Goddamn,
that.
mice need some
Like,
grammar lessons almost as badly as they need cheese. It's already plural. You wouldn't say Chineses. Also, don't mice eat all kinds of and cheese is like a delicacy we leave out in the traps to tempt them? Cheese isn't their daily diet, right? Greedy mice.
He was hard and sharp as a flint.
Slow down, Gonzo. I don't want to blow my load this early in the movie. Jeez, I didn't realize Dickens was this damn erotic. Although the name should have tipped me off.
As solitary as an oyster.
Mr. Dickens has never eaten oysters with me, where there are many on the plate and many in the toilet an hour later, but none are solitary. I guess he means
maybe this
before they're
Scrooge.
roasted, but they're out there in the water with a bunch of other oysters and shells. They don't come out, but maybe they don't want to. This is like calling residents of a retirement home antisocial just because they stay in the rooms most of the time. They're singing about how terrible he is, and he's just about to turn around suddenly and scare them all into scattering. So, can he hear this song they're singing about how awful he is? Does he hear no song, but still sense the presence of a crowd following him? How do
you know, the same goes for
Bell
Belle
if the songs are
in
just
Beauty
for
and
the
the
audience,
Beast.
then there's no reason for him to know there's a crowd behind him, or for them not to have a better excuse for following him.
Humbug.
You know, Scrooge is pretty much the only motherfucker in this movie with a British accent.
Michael
There you
Caine.
go, this anachronistic with the dialect. Why not just set this in Brooklyn or something? I don't care if they even call attention to this later on. It's distracting as hell.
And I didn't mean to fall behind in the payments. Lord knows it being Christmas and all.
Follow me here a moment. Who borrows money from a known asshat like Scrooge? Only the desperate, I guess. Those who can't go anywhere else. Which must mean he either has the best rates, or he's one of the only guys in town loaning to really poor people. Which, ding, ding, ding. So then, if he's loaning to people that can't pay, he knows eventually they'll default. And maybe he can seize something if they took a specific loan out, like a home loan or a carriage loan. But even a home from someone like that would not be desirable to Scrooge. And why is there never any time given to his side real estate business that somehow resells piece of slum properties for a profit after the loans default? Okay, I'll admit I've rambled here, and I'm just as lost as you are regarding my original point, but I think we can all agree that I worked hard enough writing all this out, and it's still worth seeing the film for.
One might say
That went quite long.
foreclosure season.
All this time.
For the moneylenders.
No one told Michael Caine he was acting opposite Muppets. So
I think that can be the thumbnail.
The greatest Scrooge performance ever.
Thank you!
Be suddenly
Unemployed! Now that could be the thumbnail.
Hilarious moment, but where did the costumes come from? How can I be afraid of Scrooge or the ghosts or anything in this movie if you're saying so little what I'm seeing is real that nothing matters?
That was funny too with the rats.
King asshole. Rich and hoards money? Fine. But going out of his way to mock his own flesh and blood for being poor? King asshole.
Yeah.
His past drops his ass on an icy cobblestone road. God damn. Funny
Yes.
His hand and lower mouth are getting third-degree burned right now while you're laughing.
We'd like to speak to you about a donation.
Bunsen and Beaker come here asking Scrooge for a charitable donation because they are literally the only two people left in London that don't know Scrooge is a penny-pinching, poor people-hating dickwite.
My dear nephew.
Myself for Christmas.
You know, Scrooge has a point. If he doesn't celebrate Christmas, what's everyone's problem with forcing it on him? You don't see people bothering like the Church of Satan or Frank Costanza during the holiday season.
Why ever did you get married? Why? Because I fell in love. That's the only thing in the world sillier than a Merry Christmas.
Boom. The heart of it. Scrooge is heartbroken. It's actually a huge part of what helps viewers, readers feel empathy for him. But even this movie's theatrical cut removed the song about his lost love. And it breaks my sinning heart to have to sit in this movie twice for it. Everything we know about Scrooge is that he's
not wrong
so why are all these
about the song being removed. It was an important part of the film.
Once again, the entire goddamn city has been bitching about how awful this guy is, but this caroler decides to go rogue and try to charm his ass. Wreath rats for the riffraff.
8:30 then.
A lot of people don't like Bean Bunny. The Muppeteers didn't like him either.
Bob been working for Scrooge, given his disdain for
Bean Bunny
Christmas,
never
he's
bothered
probably
me.
open that day every year, so this shouldn't be a surprise for his employees.
With their employer gone at last, Bob Cratchit and the bookkeepers immediately began that most pleasant of activities.
The interspecies Christmas orgy. Bob really likes to have his cloaca stroke counterclockwise. Christ, what a waste of time. This is like 6 rats working on this one task. Great job! 1 window down. 1.
It's the Penguins' Christmas skating party.
Which will totally anyone else that walks down this alleyway. But ho 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 and Merry Christmas to go along with your ruptured spleen after you eat walking through here. Holy, these special effects have aged about as well as the original Tron movie. Wait, everything speaks English in this universe? Even the vegetables? But the penguins can only communicate via this weird quacking. Huh, magical enough moment on its own feels the need to add a shooting star to underscore the magic of the moment cliche.
How do you know what
That's a good shot.
We're down here and he's up there.
Yes, a rat would be excellent at CinemaSins. At least it's not the endgame rat. That rat. Man beats off on nightgown.
And there they are.
Looking older and
More wicked than ever. I knew he wouldn't let us. Didn't disappoint us.
It's funny how Stadler and Waldorf were making fun of.
What was I thinking of in something else?
But these days, many
You have
people
those
use
moments.
these assholes as stand-ins for Chris and me, and that's just not true. We're much better looking.
we specialized in causing pain, spreading fear and doubt.
Facebook.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Why does this asshole get a second chance at life? Like, it's clear from this song that the Marleys didn't even like Scrooge, but why did they get an opportunity to warn him about his misdeeds? If anything, they should be pissed off that no one did this for them.
I really hate this. I wanted to know what was...
And another ad. Okay, so some of the things that they so far, like the narrator so far said, like, okay, I'm happy. I'm now also happy that that he removed a sin for Michael Caine. I like saying it, like how saying Michael Caine's name, Michael Caine. So, and I could do a pretty good Michael Caine impression. Yeah, because again, I'm happy that, they removed a sin for his performance as Ebenezer Scrooge. Because, fun fact, he told Brian Henson that he was going to portray Scrooge serious, and he wasn't going to have his Scrooge do anything Muppety, and take it very serious on, interacting with the Muppets. You know what I mean? Just like how Scrooge is in A Christmas Carol and in anything Christmas Carol, And, and Brian Henson encouraged him to do it. And, golly, just how this turned out is fantastic. Like, Michael Caine never disappoints. So, also, because even as of now, it's a shame, but understandable, because Michael Caine now retiring from acting, so, yeah. you know, he had a pretty good acting career and such. He did a lot of fantastic movies, and whether he was in some that didn't turn out that good, he was still good. Like, I can think of, say, his appearance in the fourth and final Jaws film. Come on, I think he was still good in that. I mean, say what you will about Jaws 4, but Jaws 4, boy, that could have been a heck of a lot better with what it was doing and what it was trying to do, because, yeah, it seemed like it had some good potential and so on, even when I watched it for the first time fully. I'm just saying, because, you know, but back to it. All right.
Happening? Now Scrooge's bedchamber is on this side of the house.
We've literally just established that Gonzo is an omniscient narrator, so why is Rizzo so horned up to see the action himself? He'll know what's happening every step of the way.
There's only two things in this life I hate. Heights and jumping from them.
And the Dutch. Wait, you're
And
telling
the
me
Dutch.
this was just visited by two ghosts and freaked the f out, but is able to drop off to sleep just an hour or so afterward? What kind of drugs did they have back then, and how do I get them?
I knew this
Nah.
was coming was foretold to me.
Well, he said humbug, like, right before he went to bed, so...
Territory with no warning. And now I'm skeptical that they'll be able to recover.
Yeah, Dark Crystal, now that you say it.
Wow, that is the same thing that guy with the candy in his van told me back in middle school.
That was the worst trip of my life.
You should try flying American. Okay, look, if the cat can see these two, then why can't everyone and everything else? I'm not just talking Scrooge. At least he's from the same time period. This cat has a memory of the past, and it can see Rizzo. That means young Scrooge and everyone else in this
Gonzo interacted with
see them as well, right? Look,
with Sam the Eagle, right? Like,
fourth graders here, but Moliere.
Dusk has fallen, and the lamplighters are at work. It's Christmas Eve for certain.
Narrating the work of civil servants on Christmas Eve really only hammers home the fact that their asses
Fozzie
are
wig.
Christmas Eve, no? Look, I've made rat sickles before, and it takes a lot longer than that, believe you me. Also,
Fozzie playing the part of Fuzzywig makes a lot of sense, you know.
And I should point out that Gonzo and Rizzo shouldn't have been able to climb the ladder, interact with the fire, or interact with the water that put out the fire, since it's all a shadow of the past, right? Right?
But they're the narrators, and there's something different.
Okay, fine. This is me and Chris, and I can't upload
I
this
love
to the
it.
rest of the assholes.
Thank you again. Singing grapes. Like,
I'm not even singing the fact that the grapes can sing. I'm singing the fact that this asshole needed cloches for 2 naked grape clusters.
Do you know how much the firm is spending for this party?
Why'd Scrooge wait until now to bring this up? The money's already been spent, fool. This is like saying, do you know how much I came after the condom broke?
I love you, Bill.
You did once.
Man, most of the time I hate musicals, but this musical has pretty awesome music, and it's been forever since it's music. Heck, but the electric mayhem at the party doesn't count. I want a goddamn song.
Until the nearby clock began to strike the hour.
it was a huge mistake to remove the song that Belle
Does anyone
sings.
sleep in London?
May I welcome you to Christmas morning?
If the Ghost of Christmas Present actually takes him to Christmas morning a little bit in the future, shouldn't his name be Ghost of Christmas a little bit from now?
Yeah. Yes, that's funny. And thank you again. Like, yeah, that's funny. That is funny.
This really pulls on the
Muppet humor never
He
disappoints.
was in prison for dismembering an entire family a couple years back.
I do have a good one, Clara.
I believe Dickens confirmed this was written into Fred's proposal to Clara.
Is it an unwanted creature?
Often. What?
It's Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yes.
I feel sad for Scrooge finding out his nephew hates him, but then I remember
Yeah.
Scrooge is a massive dickwad who deserves to be hated and also deserves to feel sad for once. The dickwad.
Don't be sweeping the chimney now. You're blocking the smell.
Not to mention dumping a ton of creosote onto the Christmas goose. Dude, I obviously love this movie, but it takes way too long to miss Piggy, and barely Kermit's at all.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Where the hell have Bob and Tim been all day? Sure, they went to a church service, but it's nighttime, and they're just getting home on Christmas. Was Bob out visiting his other wife and family the rest of the time?
He told me that he hoped that people saw him in church.
Attention, whore. So Piggy birthed out 2 pigs.
Well, father and
2
son
frogs,
time, I'm
as a
sure,
result of mating.
for
Why isn't there a hybrid among the mix? To pick and
Bob
from
and
DNA
Tim, you
splice
know.
this selectively? Also, while you assholes are singing your long-ass silly Christmas song, this food that Emily slaved over all day is getting ice cold. You know, for a family made out of felt, they sure did fireplace and candle the out of this Christmas feast.
As the Cratchit family vanished into the darkness, Scrooge kept his eyes upon Tiny Tim until the last.
One of the reasons this is among the best Christmas Carol adaptations ever put to film is that by having a narrator, even one as odd as Gonzo, we get to hear scene and story description in the actual words of the original Dickens novel, but also narration, so...
My time upon this globe is very brief. I believe it will end upon the stroke of 12.
But the first spirit appeared at 1, and this dude showed up at 2. Why the hell are we jumping all the way back to midnight? Hey, boss, we're running out of money here. What should we do for the visual effects when Christmas present disappears? Fade out and put some blinky light brights in there. Bob's your uncle.
Well,
Am I in the presence
they sticked with classic effects, how they were done in, you know, previous movie adaptations, you know. Like the Marley effect, you know, like the visual effects for the Marley brothers appearing.
Who the men were talking about, because Scrooge is a blockhead, I guess. Good with numbers, bad with basic narrative structure.
You know, I've got his blankets. Be very Plymouth fan.
And another ad. As I was saying, like, Brian Henson even, like, stated, like, how these effects were done. Like, most of them, like, were done, like, you know, old school effects. Again, as I said, the Marley Brothers, how the effects for them were done, like, using a black curtain and so on. And just like how it was done for, you know, the, like, for Jacob Marley and the other movie adaptations of A Christmas Carol. A little bit of CGI was done, like, well, as Brian Henson pointed out, with The Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, traveling to the future in that spiral, you know, that creepy noise, like, that was a digital effect, CG and computer. But again, most of them, yeah, they were practical effects. And with the Ghost of Christmas Present disappearing, yeah, because that was an old school effect, I assume, you know, how it's been done in old films, you know, like fading away and so on. So yeah, I mean, good for them, like doing old school effects and practical effects, you know, for this. So good on the Jim Henson Company for doing that. So, and also, I have to mention this because, like, the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come's entrance, because, as we all know, like, there was a build of smoke approaching right at Michael Caine, and I don't know if you've seen this, because, like, on the Oh My Disney YouTube channel, and it's also on the Muppets YouTube channel, Dave Goelz and Brian Henson, they're watching and commentating on Muppet Christmas Carol, and when it came up to the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come's entrance, and with the smoke, you know, coming towards Michael, because Brian said that he told Michael, you know, that he was going to tell him to turn, and when the smoke came in, and when they were filming and with the smoke coming in, and Brian's yelling, "Turn, turn, turn, Michael, turn!" And Brian said that Michael couldn't hear him, but he turned at the exact right, perfect time as the smoke was just about to hit him, and him, like, getting away from the smoke. Like, hey, that was good. Like, that was pretty good. I mean, yeah, Michael, he timed it perfectly right as it was about to hit him. Because, I mean, again, because he didn't hear Brian at first. So, oh, that was pretty good. All right, but anyways, let's get back to it. And you know, I've gone on saying this. These ads, sometimes they'll just randomly pop up, and you just never know. You never know. But anyways, okay, let's get back to it.
These blankets. Why, this is dull, but they're still warm.
The spider is a sick man. Like, even if he's looking to profit off Scrooge after he's dead, why would it matter if these blankets are warm? Sick spider.
But the Muppet Spider's pretty cool.
Yikes. Listen, husbands and wives and partners need to be able to have emotions in front of one another. It's healthy. Just bottle it up for their sake. Is why most of my friends say their dad rarely told them he loved them. He wipes his own name off the tombstone and then sobs like he wasn't expecting it because he's an idiot. Scrooge is maybe the dumbest character of all classic literature. A canon that includes Don Quixote and Nick Carraway.
Yes, the bedposts were his own. The bed was his own. The room was his own.
But the 3 corpses in the closet, well, that's a story for another time.
Do you know whether the prize turkey has been sold in the window?
Oh, the one twice as big as me? It's still there.
Buy it for me and I'll give you a shilling.
I love this. The rich entitled asshole has finally learned the meaning of Christmas and selflessness, and his first act is to pay someone else to do an errand for him so he doesn't have to do it himself. I've learned the error of my ways. Here's some money. Go and fend.
It's his way of apologizing to Bean Bunny, right?
I can only do kindness by showing off my money muscles. Also, the movie made a massive deal about Bob being off work for Christmas Day. But what about these sad They have to man the poultry shop, especially first thing in the morning.
I'll give you 5 shillings.
They're not working
Not only did
for
Scrooge have these 5 shillings
Scrooge,
in an easily
like...
throwable coin purse, that was right by the window. Now he's throwing money at a charity. So basically Scrooge has learned to do nice things, but to use his money to do them. Money is still his focus. I was bad? Here, let me buy, my goodness. Overnight even. This is like when everyone found out how much more Marky Mark made than Michelle Williams for the reshoots on All the Money in the World. A very average movie, no matter who acted in it. And then he donated his salary to charity to defuse the situation. Like, yeah, prick, you didn't fix the problem of gender salary inequality. You just quieted the media with money. Money! Screw it. I'm adding 5 cents to this movie for Marky Mark's existence. Some things are just out of my control.
Follow me.
You, Scrooge. This turkey is twice the size of the rodent that brought it, and you're making that poor bastard carry it all the way to the Cratchits? Scrooge literally...
Well, he's handling it,
like...
like...
and then dumps a bag of gold coins into the shopkeeper's hand.
Also, Sprocket makes a cameo from Fraggle Rock.
It's magic, not accounting, that makes it happen. Even his gifts to the bookkeepers...
And this was a good song that Michael Caine sings. Thankful Heart.
He should get raked over the coals for doing the bare minimum kindness after his so-called transformation. He gives Bob Cratchit a raise and pays off his house at the rat bookkeepers. Here's some coal, dicks. She's pretending to be happy now.
Well.
Inside, she's murmuring, Parmesan? Kind of self-respecting mouse eats Parmesan. What am I gonna do? Put it on the pasta we don't eat?
Bob Cratchit, I've had my fill of this.
Jesus, he just handed out gifts to half the city while singing a happy song, but Scrooge takes extra time to with Bob specifically before he unzips his Christmas spirit. Yeah, but
Well, that was the point, like, as in all the other movie adaptations, and obviously the story itself, you know, the book.
On Christmas morning. But also, this is the greatest Muppets movie ever made, it's the greatest Christmas Carol movie ever made, and it's arguably the greatest Christmas movie ever made. So I'll take all 3 sins as a curse.
Thank you! Wow. And only 89 cents.
Oh, my cabbages!
Life is a cabbage.
Hey, did you know that we here at CinemaSins have a podcast?
Do I want to...
I did not know that. It's true.
I might as well.
It's called Sincast, and we've been doing it since all the way back in 2015. Seriously. Excuse me. Exactly how long have I been asleep? But since you're currently on YouTube, you may prefer to listen to stuff here, right?
I wonder if they've done any TV Sin videos of Frasier. If so, I should probably react to some of those.
This movie does have so many good moments that I do think ultimately it'll be easy for most people.
The narrator, because...
Stuff that doesn't work quite as well. In-depth dives into a variety of cinematic topics.
No, this movie is absurd. It's my type of absurd, though.
I'm not sure, because, like...
Something can be said just...
How many guys work at CinemaSins?
Just Lansbury said...
Just 2? Just, like, 3 people? I think so.
As she sang the first couple of lines, a cappella,
Leonard
and
Maltin.
the place went wild.
And much, much more.
Yeah, it wasn't until,
You know, okay, I'm just gonna skip this. Yeah. I will say that, let me see, like, yeah, because here's the thing, like, if it is only 3 people working at CinemaSins, because, well, first off, CinemaSins has crossed paths with Nostalgia Critic before, like, good examples are Something Christmas that Nostalgia Critic did. I think, yeah, it was the Nutcracker movie with Nathan Lane and Ella Fanning. I think, yeah, and CinemaSins also teamed up with Nostalgia Critic alongside with Brad Jones, and you know we get a little bit of an appearance of James Rolfe reviewing the Justice League movie. Basically, the Joss Whedon Justice League movie. So, yeah. And the fact that, yeah, the CinemaSins narrator is there, and, you know, all that we see of the narrator is just, well, just like how in the CinemaSins videos, we hear the voice and the captions. Like, hey, that's funny. That's funny. But, yeah, the 2 other guys, like, who work at CinemaSins, like, yeah, they were present, and, again, I could be right. It's just, I'm sorry, 3 people. 3 people working at CinemaSins, but you can correct me if I am right or wrong, you know, just, all right. Outtakes.
Hannah, I know you won't listen to your father, but you always listen to me, so I'm asking you not to see Bob White.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Something Michael Caine, but I threw it on the ground.
Martha will follow him in. In a minute, I have a little bag of jelly beans over here. Will you just...
Oh yeah, the jelly bean thing.
Man, it's jelly beans.
Poltergeist.
Yes. I remember.
I remember you used to dance.
I want you to decide what's right for me. I surrender to your will.
We're gonna fix.
And that's it. Not that many outtakes. I only got a few. Again, something Michael Caine, I threw it on the ground. Poltergeist, yeah, that was pretty good. Okay, well, that was pretty good. CinemaSins covering and sinning on the Muppets Christmas Carol, not bad. And I'm very happy on some of the sins that they removed. Yeah, well done. Well done, CinemaSins. Yeah, you didn't disappoint. I mean, again, the CinemaSins videos, they are for laughs. That's the purpose. All right, enough said. Jump cut to my thoughts now. Hey guys, so that was my reaction to the CinemaSins video of everything wrong with the Muppets Christmas Carol in Adorable Minutes. Again, that's a title, you know, because not 18 minutes or 17 minutes or less, like, for this, like, in Adorable Minutes. But yeah, again, overall, CinemaSins and what they had to say on Muppets Christmas Carol, not bad at all, and very happy to see that they did remove a good couple of sins, especially for some certain moments, like, yeah, how, you know, obviously they have to remove a sin for, you know, the dedication to Jim Henson and Richard Hunt, what they said on Michael Caine's performance as Ebenezer Scrooge, and, you know, they admitted it, because it is a really good Christmas movie and a very truthful adaptation to the story of A Christmas Carol. Like, yeah, good on you, CinemaSins. Like, yeah, that makes me happy to see. And I'm sure there's no doubt that they love the Muppets. Who wouldn't love the Muppets? Like, you know, hey, like me, for example. And like I said, Muppets Christmas Carol, and I'm pretty sure that, again, I'm pretty sure I've established this, and it's no secret that Muppets Christmas Carol is my all-time favorite Christmas Carol movie adaptation. It's right there next to the Christmas Carol movie that I mentioned that, you know, stars Sir Patrick Stewart. Heck, I did a top 5 list on some of my favorite Christmas Carol movie adaptations, and if you want to go check that out. There's that, and I also do like the one with Bill Murray, you know, Scrooged. It's not god-awful, but of course it's not the best, but I think it's still enjoyable, you know. So, with this, because what they've had to say, yeah, some understandable things, like, okay, most notably, the fact that Gonzo and Rizzo, when they travel with Scrooge, you know, from past, present, and future, sometimes they get noticed. But there's a difference. Again, there's a difference. You know, between them and Scrooge, you know, being there in different times, like, you know. And the fact that, yes, because with the cat, like, noticing and chasing Rizzo, and, you know, the fact that they did not show anything that had to do with little Scrooge and him being in school, and Sam the Eagle, the fact that Gonzo interacted with Sam, he corrected him, saying, you know, like, it is the British way, you know, because at first he said it is the American way, but he's in London, so the UK and so on. Come on, Sam, get it right. Also, some of the best funny moments in this movie, yeah, because another sin that they removed, like that marching band of Muppet babies, and one got hit in the face. I don't think I really noticed that, because it kind of happens quickly, so yeah, but that is funny, yeah. Good on you, CinemaSins. Like, who doesn't love good Muppet humor, you know? And yeah, of course, it's obvious and it's very understandable. Who wouldn't agree that Muppet Christmas Carol, they unfortunately removed an important song number from Belle? Yeah, because, I mean, obviously this goes to Disney. What were they thinking? I don't recall if Jeffrey Katzenberg had some involvement of this. Like, hey, you know, he was this close for having the Little Mermaid song number, Part of Your World, be taken out. Good Lord. It's true, you know, and thank God, because of course for it being in the film, and it's one of the key parts of the movie. So, but for Muppet Christmas Carol, the song that Belle sings, it's an important key part, you know, for Muppet Christmas Carol. And, you know, I remember this, because I remember on Disney Plus that they announced it, that the full version of Muppet Christmas Carol would be restored, and with the song number, yeah, and the fact that even before that, because with the DVD releases, and I'm pretty sure the VHS tape releases of Muppet Christmas Carol, the song did make its way in there. So, yeah. Yeah, and especially because, you know, what the narrator, the CinemaSins, what else they had to say on Muppet Christmas Carol, and, you know, giving sins on them and so on. Like, yeah, I mean, okay, like, where was Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim, like, until they made it back home, like, in the evening time? Well, yeah, because they went to church, but maybe they were just having some father and son time. Well, because Tiny Tim, he would have died, and because, like, you know exactly how this goes, and there's that. Of course, Scrooge growing very attached to Tiny Tim, and he saved Tiny Tim's life, and it's thanks to the ghost of Christmas past, present, future, and for him to be aware of Bob Cratchit's, you know, sick child, Tiny Tim. Yeah. And hey, like, the song numbers in Muppet Christmas Carol were good too. You know, from There Goes Mr. Humbug, Thankful Heart, the song that Tiny Tim sings. You know, they were all really good. And of course, yeah, the song that Belle sings. And by the way, when the CinemaSins narrator said something like about Scrooge, you know, sexting Belle, I realized at a certain point, yeah, obviously Belle in this, not Belle from Beauty and the Beast. The fact that I mentioned Belle and Beauty and the Beast, you know, in fact, both Scrooge and Belle, there are songs that the people are singing while they're walking and so on. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. That's a good example right there, a good comparison, I should say. But, yeah, overall, Muppet Christmas Carol, it is a fantastic Muppets film, and for them doing a Christmas movie, and, you know, for it being the story of a Christmas Carol from Charles Dickens, and, yeah, because what CinemaSins had to say on it, and removing a sin for that, a couple of sins, that is. Good, just good. And also, one more thing, the scene with Rizzo and his jelly beans and him jumping from the bars, like, yeah, that was pretty funny, and the fact that he didn't have to jump, you know, up top of the gate bars, whatever, because, you know, he went under it to recover, to get his jelly beans, and, you know, Gonzo just, like, you know, he says, you know, you can fit through those bars, and, you know, Rizzo's like, yeah, and then, you know, all that Gonzo has to say is, you are such an idiot. Technically, I mean, you know, what was Rizzo thinking? Like, he's a rat, and, like, you know, Rizzo being Rizzo, so yeah. But yeah, again, overall, the CinemaSins video of them covering / sinning on the Muppets Christmas Carol was pretty good, and, you know, the sins that they removed, all they've had to say, and, you know, what I had to say, you know, for my thoughts. And what about you guys? What did you think of the CinemaSins video itself? Like, do you agree on, you know, what they had to say about Muppets Christmas Carol and, you know, the sins that they removed? And is Muppets Christmas Carol your favorite Muppet movie and your favorite Christmas Carol movie adaptation? And yeah, what did you think of my reaction? Leave comments and give this reaction video a like, as always. So, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to the CinemaSins video of everything wrong with the Muppets Christmas Carol in adorable minutes. More reaction videos are on the way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video / reaction. Take care, peace out, and happy holidays to you all.